Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It's Monday, and I have a new Edison format deck list for you guys this week. I'm kind of doing a throwback to an older style of play called Stun, where basically in a slower metas, especially back in around, like, again, 2010, you were able to play a lot of cards that would actually just, like, basically stop the turn for your opponent. So I'm going to specialize this as a fairy stun build. And it's a 40-card main deck. I'm going to leave the side deck up to your imagination. Got a 15-card extra deck for you guys. Let's get you guys a deck list, right? So first and foremost, one of my favorite fairies to help stun with is going to be the Archlord Christia. So by effect, this 8-star monster card can special summon as long as you have exactly 4 fairy-type monsters in the graveyard. You can just special summon this. Of course, this could just be special summon or normal summon anyway. This is not this is the only way to play this card type thing. When you do, though, you get to target one fairy-type monster in the graveyard, adding that target to your hand. Neither player can special summon monsters while this card is face-up on the field. And if this face-up card would be sent from the field to the grave, it returns to the top of your deck instead. So, again, provides a little bit of longevity. And I have no clue what is up with all that. Give us a half second. All right, a couple of settings tweaked, and it looks like we have better, clearer focus. So to continue, after 2 Archlord Christias, we're going to go straight into 2 of those type of stun cards. We're going to go into 2 copies Battle Fader. This 1-star monster, when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this in their battle phase. This summons from your hand to the field. And if this card would leave the field after being special summoned by its own effect, it gets banished. So, again, it's good 1-star fodder. It's useful for some things. I'm going to be using 1 copy Gale. Gale is such a great tuner in this time period. 3 stars. So real quick, though, one of the first things I'm already seeing that I can make is I can make like an armory arm here on 4. Also, for Archlord Christia plays, being able to synchronize in this time period means we can add like the 4th if we didn't have a 4th fairy in the discard yet. So that's good too. Again, Gale shrinks. Can normally special summon himself, not in this deck. Just is what it is there. Next monster card. And we're going to go with 3 Caius the Shadow Monarch. Now, this is a great Monarch card. This is going to be a 6-star single tribute. When tribute summoned, remove from play 1 card on the field. If it was a dark monster card, inflict 1,000 points of damage to the opponent. What makes this so good is this is one of those great, you go from having no board to battle fading, to preserve yourself, to playing the Caius off of that on your own turn, and then going ahead into like a quick 1-for-1 off of effect, and then possibly crashing another one to gain some advantage. So again, it's good stuff. I like to throw a single copy of Card Trooper in here. Again, Card Trooper is just awesome. You get to mill up to 3 cards. You get to pick, a number between 1 and 3. Toss that many from the top of your deck. Gains 500 per. This card could go up to 19 this way. Additionally, 3 stars. So again, this will like unlock the 6 stars for us. So it's great for like Goyo Guardian, Bryanak. Good plays there. Additionally, if it would be destroyed as a monster and sent to the graveyard, you get to draw a card. Usually doesn't happen. And again, helps us sort of like preload the discard pile for Christia. Next up, another cool one. Again, at this point in time, Soldier and Emperor Dragon are both on the hit list. I think Chaos Sorcerer was just chilling at 1. I only liked him as 1 in here anyway. The way that I was playing this deck, because a lot of the fairies end up being light, and a lot of the best like tech stun stuff happens to be dark. Single copy Chaos Sorcerer. It's just quick. Special summon it first, or can only be special summon something. Must first be special summoned from the hand by banishing 1 light and dark. So I guess you could like Monster Reborn if that existed in the era. You could call the Haunted. And then once per turn, you can choose to banish a face-up monster card the opponent has. If you do that, you would not be able to declare an attack that turn. Again, if you attacked that turn, you could not go to main phase 2 and use the effect. Next card, single copy Side Drag. Side Drag helps out with some of the plays too, plus our Blackwing. This is going to equal a lot of our 8-star plays here. And honestly, you pair this off with Battle Fader as well. And now we're also looking at 9-star plays like Mistworm. So good stuff there. Everybody knows how it works. Cyber Valley. I wanted to play a single copy of Cyber Valley for the shenanigans. So when this guy first released in, like, I think it was Phantom of Darkness, and I mean, it's real deep cut, but I want to say it was like Jerry Wang was the player that like first brought this to like regionals, and the card like jumped value overnight because obviously Jerry Wang, super talented duelist back then, just saw that this thing has 3 effects. Why wouldn't you play it? So the effects are as follows. You can activate and choose one of them. If this is targeted for an attack, you may banish it to draw a card in the battle phase. Again, this is a good portion of the stun. If I didn't want to play this, I would have played a 3rd Battle Fader for that. Additionally, you can target a face-up monster that you control in this card, banish both, draw 2 cards. So we got to draw 1 in battle phase. We got to draw 2. Last one, you can target a card in your graveyard, banish both this and a card from your hand. Place the target on the top of the deck. So you could technically stack your deck if you really wanted to. There's not a bad effect in that the way that we play this. Next up, I got a single copy of DD Warrior Lady, using my BP2. Not that you guys could see the you know what, I'll pull it out a little bit. I really wish I had like one of the original like supers, but like I dig this battle pack too. I don't even know what you'd call it, like circuitry looking foil to it. Again, DD Warrior Lady, great at clearing threats. During the damage step, you can choose to banish her and the target that she was attacking. It's all good. Next big card, since we are doing the fairy control bits, I wanted to play around with Dimensional Alchemist because I noticed that I was going to start doing some removal effects. D-Alch does some great things. So like once per turn, you can activate his effect by removing from play the top card of your deck. Give this card an extra 500 until the end phase of the turn. So he'll jump to a quick 18, which is great. When this card is destroyed and sent from your side of the field to the graveyard, select one of your remove from play monsters, return it to your hand. Now, I understand that this is all awesome and everything. I want to stop you right there, and I want you to understand that this means like it could be the DD Warrior Lady. It does not have to be a card that was removed originally by this card's effect. So like, just play around with it. Have some fun. Maybe they removed your Chaos Sorcerer and you really want to play Chaos Sorcerer back again, so you just add that back to your hand. It's all good. Additionally, something I didn't mention with DD Warrior Lady that works here too. Again, this is going to let us get into our 7s with our Blackwing. And not only does that mean like just the generically good things like Black Rose and Ancient Fairies Dragon. Additionally, we should be playing like an Armor Master, which you guys will see all of this like jump into my extra deck when we get to the end of this. One of the 2 major monsters that will jump out and do some stuff for you. I'm running Gores. So again, if you take any type of damage that is direct while you control no cards on your side of the field, this card can special summon, then performs an effect based on the type of damage. If it was battle damage, you go ahead and you get to summon a token, and technically it wouldn't be Yugi, but it'd be a like an emissary of darkness token, and the stats would be equal to the damage that you took. And if it was an effect damage effect, such as like Magic Cylinder, you would just simply just do the same type of damage back to your opponent. Now, obviously, Magic Cylinder is not a good example here because you would be controlling a monster card, which would invalidate Gores. But you guys got the you guys caught what I meant. So again, that's how that works. Next bit that adds a lot of control to this deck is 3 copies Herald of the Orange Light. So again, this deck goes super monster heavy. Like, I think I'm only running like maybe 12-ish spells and traps. And again, the point is like so many of the monsters do so many different things, different times. This is no exception. You can send this and another fairy from your hand, from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation of an effect monster the opponent controls and destroy the card. You can do this during either player's turn. It is considered a quick effect. Basically, he's, again, earlier game hand traps. It's also a 2-star tuner. So, again, 2 plus 4 is going to get us into our 7s. Into our 6s, plus the 5 get us into our 7s, plus Caius gets us into our 8s, plus Caius, plus Fader, or, plus Sorcerer plus Fader. Any of these things could get us to 9. Do these with a couple of those little guys over there. That would be fine. That would get you to like the Armory Arm. And again, like the plus Card Trooper. This is going to allow you to get into like the level 5s for like magical androids. So again, there's a lot of stuff that you can do. Next up, 2 copies Honest. And one of the effects that I think is actually like under noticed in this build is not just the hand trap battle phase, gain the attack the monster that's attacking, or on the opposite side of combat from you, because you could obviously just attack into something and then drop Honest, as long as your monster card is light attribute. But if this is on the field at a point, you can return it to the hand. And again, this works out well with some of the next cards. One of those is Nova Summoner. So when this is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Light Fairy with 1500 or less attack from the deck. If Sanctuary in the Sky would be face up on the field, you could play Air Knight Parshath, but we're not playing Air Knight Parshath. This would let you get Dimensional Alchemist, Honest, Herald of the Lights. It lets you get into a lot of stuff. Another quick 2-star that will allow us to get into like an Armory Arm off of this and this, or into Magical Android with Blackwing is going to be Raikou. You guys understand Raikou. You guys understand Sangan. Again, 3 stars. It's going to get us into some of the plays. We got to talk about the 3 Shining Angels. Essentially the same effect as the Nova Summoner with a little more push this time, because what's actually going to happen is this is any light attribute monster, 1500 or less. This can actually let us threaten into the Cyber Valley real quick, as well as the DD Warrior Lady. So just go ahead, keep that in mind while you're doing this. And then the last monster real quick is going to be a single copy Tragonia. A couple things. When you take, is it just battle damage with him? Special summon this from your hand when you take battle damage. Gain 600 attack defense per card in hand. Once per turn, send 1 monster from hand to grave. Take control of a face-up monster the opponent controls that has the same level as the discarded card. And additionally, once per turn, select a monster in your own graveyard. Copy that card's level till the end of the turn. So again, not only does he help us just like populate the field, and we could go ahead, we could steal things from our opponents. Tragonia is actually going to throw in with some level modulation, making synchro that much easier. Moving into the spell traps real quick, and you know what? We're just going to wrong way. Let's just zoom it out just a hair. That's probably about right where I had it. I'll just move the mat. Going into this, I didn't have too much room, so I'm playing one Alert of Darkness, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Brain Control, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Mind Control, and 1 MST. And the reason it's a bunch of 1s is half the time you're not going to have Dark, so I don't want to over-centralize with 2 Allures. I also think Allure was at 1 right then. I don't know. I checked the list. I built this like last week. It's been a minute since I double-checked the list again. I just know like the Books of Moon, I tend to place those extra 1s at the side. Couple back row disruptors, a couple things that are going to help me get into either grabbing my opponent's tuners or grabbing synchro fodder. And then my quick 5 for the traps is going to be Return from the Different Dimension. Again, this is just great. This is something that you can't do anymore. You can't let this card back in. Pay half life. Special summon as many removed from play cards as possible. During the end phase, remove from play all monsters that were special summoned by this effect. Generally, this is your go for game strategy. This is like this is going to be the end of it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Your opponent hits you with Mirror Force. It was their last card. And you're like, I'll just play back all these guys instead. 2 copies Royal Decree, because again, if you have Christia up, Christia is already saying like no special summoning. If you have Decree up as well, then your opponent doesn't have traps either. Of course, neither do you, which is why we only play 5. And then our last 2 are just going to be Torrential and Trap Dust Shoot. And again, what that comes down to is we want to have the best possible traps when we're going to play light. So Starlight Road, that's like side deck material. All the normal things, Bottomless Trap Hole, Dimensional Prisons. Go ahead, play them in the sideboard. does not need to take up all the room in the main. Again, we use a lot of control by playing out like the heralds and being able to try to manipulate things with the fairies. This is cool. This is the main deck. This is 40 cards. Go ahead, guys, take a screenshot or pause and make some notes, and I'll be right back with a quick extra deck. All right, real quick to start the extra deck. I start with a double. You guys can choose to only play a single. It would be fine. We're talking Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Again, one of the biggest things if you start entering events and you start playing Edison format events. Machines are good. Machines are great. Machina does like a ton of good things. And we board only one Cyber Dragon in the main. So you could easily make this a one of and just add an extra synchro card wherever you guys see fit. Please, this is just like a cookie cutter build. Like, you guys could do whatever you want with this afterward. The rest of the extra deck is pretty simple. You want to play an Ally of Justice Cataster. Again, any non-dark battling him dies before battle, before damage calculation, which is good. Ancient Fairy Dragon, again, we can replace field spells. We get an extra normal summon every round. You get the special summon. Once per turn, special summon a level 4 lower from the hand. It's not a normal summon, it's a special summon. But again, it's a good one of. Same thing with Armory Arm. We can equip, we can get the draw cards. No, this one doesn't do draw cards. This does the extra damage. This one replicates Flame Wingman's effect. So again, we can go ahead and do that. We can do the burn up. B-Rose is good for resetting the field. Armor Master, again, if you guys are going to be playing Gale, which there's no reason not to, this is always a great toss-in whenever you can make a 7-star. Good old Brynac, great 6-star for this format. Colossal Fighter, because again, sometimes you still see some Dark Arm Dragon plays going through. Dark End Dragon, because we do have non-tuner darks, and we can go into that off the 8s. And this is just a really cool effect. So once per turn, you can have this card lose 500 attack and defense, and you target a monster that your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. It's a good card. Goyo Guardian pre-errata, so it's just tuner non-tuners for 6. This could help you reinforce your field. Plus, he's the tallest 6-star synchro in the game, if I'm not mistaken, at 2,800. Single copy Magical Android. Turns out I found mine. Like, it was actually in one of my boxes here. But again, just good. I don't have to proxy this anymore or complain that it's like $16, $17 a copy. During the end phase, gain 600 life per psychic that you control. Good stuff. Mistworm on 9. Tuner plus 2 more non-tuners. When synchro summoned, return up to 3 cards the opponent controls to the hand. Single copy Stardust. Again, this could go to a second copy depending on your Chimera Tech ratio there, and plus how many if you wanted to play Starlight Road inside. Good option. And then last but not least, a Quick Thought Ruler Arcfiend. Again, great 8-star. Good psychic. When this destroys monster of a battle and sends it to grave, gain life equal to original attack. And then additionally, you can pay 1,000 life points to negate the activation of any spell or trap that will target a single psychic type monster that you control and destroy it. So again, just good stuff. It's a feel good, like I said, it's a fairy stun. It's for the Edison format. Everything feels super tack and easy. Nowadays, because from doing this a little bit, I'm realizing like playing these legacy formats, this is not only fun, but like this is actually pretty cost effective. This would not cost you much to put together if you had to put it together from scratch. There are a few cards that might be a little tricky to find, but for the most part, that's just going to be in the extra deck. Everything else is going to be pretty easy. So till next time, guys, you guys have an excellent day. Do the things, don't do the things. That's your decision. Do one thing for me. Go out, have a wonderful day. And I hope to see you guys in the next video, all right? Later.